Hello, my friend. If you constantly postpone your tasks and responsibilities, what I'm going to explain in this video will be very useful for you. First, let's get to the cause, the root. Why do you procrastinate? One way or another, we'll see the reasons why we postpone our work. Come on, let's learn why we procrastinate. I make useful personal development videos on my channel. If this type of content interests you, subscribing to my channel would motivate me a lot. Welcome. 1. I'm not ready yet. These might actually be lies you tell yourself. Be careful about that. You say, I'll do better, I'm waiting. So, what are you doing? You're gathering information, learning how to do it, researching. If this is true, that's fine, but usually there's no substance to it. Your knowledge, competence, preliminary research is complete. So why aren't you doing it? Well, there are two reasons: lack of self-confidence and fear. Let's start. Why aren't you starting? Because you think if you start, you'll fail. You procrastinate because of this fear. If I start, I might lose. If I never start, I won't lose. Nobody can tell me I failed. This is wrong. If you start, you might fail. You'll draw a conclusion from it, learn a lesson, and try again. Maybe if you fail again, you'll succeed on the third try. But if you never start, if you think you've won the match by not taking responsibility for losing, sorry, but this isn't the same as not playing the match at all with a 0 score. Even if you lose 1-0, it's better. At least you'll have played the match. 2. Conscience and logic balance. Why do you postpone something? You just can't find the balance between your conscience and logic. Your conscience says, come on, start, come on, help. For example, let's say someone has a problem and solving it falls on you. You love them. Why do you postpone it? Because your logic says, am I the only fool? Why am I helping? On the other side, there's the pressure from your conscience. This is procrastination. Someone is drowning, and you're looking from the shore saying, isn't there anyone to help? While logic says, why are you getting in the water? Conscience screams, they're drowning. This is a very simple example. Maybe it's a kitten, a puppy, or a person. Someone from your neighborhood comes to you and says, I need a position to get promoted, can you help me? Actually, you want that position too, but they don't know this. If you help, they'll get promoted and gain experience. Logically, you rightfully say, it's my right, if I don't touch it, they shouldn't get promoted either. And you procrastinate. You do this to your classmate, your partner too. Are you jealous of your partner's success? If they become too valued, will they leave? This is also procrastination. 3. Someone will show up. I'll pass it to them. This is a very ridiculous thought. Let me explain simply. If I get up from here and take the remote, never mind, let the TV stay on commercial, someone will come and I'll ask them. Without spending even minimal effort, you're waiting for someone to come and handle it. Maybe you need to give bad news or tell someone about their failure. But this affects your company, your group, or school team. You say, if I say it, I'll be the bad guy. I'm not saying it, you say it. And you procrastinate. It's harmful to all of you. You say, never mind, someone will show up. For example, someone is harming nature, littering. You think, I won't get involved, someone will definitely come, they'll definitely complain. That's why you don't touch it and procrastinate. When it's someone else's problem, it seems okay, doesn't it? 4. Self-care procrastination. Why do you postpone self-care? Because you feel like you'll be more profitable the more you delay. You think you'll save time and money. Someone comes and says your hair and beard are a mess, or you'd look nice if you took care of yourself. You say, I'll do it later. The more you postpone self-care, you think, if I do it 5 days later, I'll look nice for 6 days. As if there's no need to spend time and money, you say, I'll handle it when necessary. Everyone experiences this. You say, I'm not seeing anyone right now anyway. There's a meeting in 2 weeks, I'll get myself together then. 2 days later, a date comes up and you panic. I postponed and postponed. I've come to the last moment. What am I going to do? Please pay attention to your self-care and appearance. This makes you look strong and valuable in society. 5. Distractions and traps. Another reason for procrastination is distractions and traps. In other words, you're not actually working, you're indirectly creating excuses. You say, I'm going to start studying. Let it be half past, it's better to start at the top of the hour. Or you say, I'll study after eating, My brain doesn't work when I'm hungry. You even postpone having a relationship this way. Honey, shall we go to the cinema? Oh, honey, it just came out. It'll be too crowded. I'm not going. 2 weeks pass. Honey, shall we go to the cinema? Okay, but spoilers for that film have come out. Let's not go. Would anyone go to it now? So you're actually distracting yourself. Phone, social media. You constantly say, when this is done, then that. Let the movie finish. Let the season finish. The worst procrastination tools are TV series anyway. You open it for 1 episode, you watch 6 episodes. You say, can't stop here, and it becomes 11:20 p.m. Well, after this hour, I might as well sleep. I'll work with a clear head in the morning, you say. But this is a lie. The next day, you continue to produce similar excuses. 6. The process of approaching the deadline. The most important factor affecting your waiting period is the process of approaching the deadline. This is very simple. Let's say there are 6 weeks until the exam. 6 weeks seems like such a long time to you. You think, there are 6 weeks, I have plenty of time. But 3 days before, you panic. Why didn't I study on time? Another example, your partner says, honey, we're going on vacation. Can you handle these things? Tasks like finding someone to look after the cat, booking a hotel and car. 2 days before, they ask, did you do these? It was mentioned 3 weeks ago, you haven't done it. You say, no. You panic saying, the clock has started. Therefore, the main reason for procrastination is not planning things on time. The best thing is to handle the work in advance. Saying, oh, there's still plenty of time is very bad. Of course, the worst is saying there are still 22 months until the exam, and lying down. Always handle your work according to a planned schedule in advance, then lie down as much as you want. 7. Shifting responsibility to others. Finally, waiting for others, sharing responsibility. In other words, if they don't do it, I won't either. This is the most foolish form of procrastination. You say, we'll work on this together. They don't say no, but you think, they didn't call me, so I don't need to start. If nobody is taking precautions about something, you don't either. Let's skip important issues like earthquakes, economic crises. But if nobody is taking precautions, you relax too. You're going to participate in an event. If nobody is preparing, you say, I'll slack off too. Suddenly you realize people were supposed to come in swimsuits, or they say, where are you? And you wake up at the last minute. So when you shift responsibility to someone else, especially with term papers, projects, everyone acts as if nobody has anything. They say, no man, I have nothing, but actually everyone is ready. They trap you. You're left looking like a fool saying, when did you guys do it? Why did we end up like this? That's why, the moment you shift responsibility to someone else, the moment you say they're not doing it either, believe me, they've already prepared their work. You're the only one left standing there like a specimen. I hope you give up the habit of procrastination. Don't postpone writing your thoughts in the comments section either. See you in the next video.